make and how to avoid them. 7 money mistakes men make and how to avoid them. So if you are a man, you know a man, this video is for you. So whether you are married, you are single, you are in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, this video is for you. So it's all about men knowing money mistakes that they make, because when you continue to make these money mistakes, they tend to affect your finances negatively. It affects you reaching your financial independence and making a success out of your finances. So this is a topic that is very, very dear to a lot of men. But unfortunately, it is not something that is being talked about. How the mistakes that men make financially, and how can they avoid these mistakes. So if, as you watch, you realize that you are actually doing one of these things, I want you to know that it's a money mistake, and it's about time that you fix this money mistakes. You know, I realize that many of our men today are working, they are doing a lot financially, they are undergoing a lot of financial pressure. You know, there's a pressure to meet up with their finances, to pay house rents, to pay school fees, to take care of families, their immediate families or their extended families. You know, there's so many pressures here and there. And some of this pressure, you know, that men face may make them to start making some of these mistakes. And that is why this evening we're looking at these mistakes. I have about 30 money mistakes that men make and how they should avoid them. But for today's video, I'm looking at just 7 of these money mistakes. And I want to encourage you that it's not something to be ashamed of. It's something that you should just realize, you know, take inventory of your money habits, and where you realize that you are committing any of these mistakes, you know, just take action to fix these money mistakes. Hello, Harris, welcome. Thank you for joining me this evening. I'm talking today about 7 money mistakes that men make and how to, you know, avoid this money mistakes. And the very first one I'm going to talk about this evening is when you spend as soon as money enters. You know, that is you. Many people fall into this trap. It's not just the men. Women as well fall into this trap. This is when you spend without a plan. Will be great to hear. Thank you so much. The 7 money mistakes that men make. So this is when you spend as soon as money enters. Immediately you get your salary, immediately you make a profit, or somebody just gifts you with money, and then you start spending without it, you know, spending without a plan. Spending immediately creates a false sense of abundance. You know, once that money hits your account, and then you get the credit alert, or somebody gives you a money, and then you immediately begin to spend without you having a plan or you creating a budget, it gives a sense of false abundance that, oh, you have this money, and then you begin to spend the money without you taking, you know, into account the things that you need to spend money on. So you begin to spend as money comes in. It is a money mistake. Or you are from Greece, Versia M. Thank you so much for joining. Please, as you come in, let me know where, introduce yourself and let me know where you're watching from. My name is Modupe Vincent. I am a certified financial planner. I'm also, oh, thank you. That's a great compliment. I'm a certified financial planner, and I'm also a legal practitioner. And this evening, I'm talking about, this video is for men. The money mistakes you make, how to avoid these money mistakes, and how to fix these money mistakes. So if you're going to create wealth, if you're going to build wealth, if you're going to achieve financial independence, then it's important that when you get money, when you receive money, whether from your business or from your salary, it is important that you begin to have a plan, a spending plan. It's important that you have a budget for that money. When you see money, don't just spend money. Have a plan that whenever I have this money, this is what I want to do with the money. So the first thing, like I said, is have a budget. Allocate the funds, allocate the money that comes into your account, allocate the money that people give to you. From Germany, and I am a mechanical engineer. That's fantastic. Thank you for joining. Please, I will encourage you to please like this video. Let me hear from you, comment, and as well subscribe in this channel if you haven't yet subscribed. So it is important, like I said, you budget, you allocate. It is important if you are going to achieve financial freedom, financial independence. It is important that you always plan your money, plan your spendings, allocate something for savings, allocate something for investment. So number one money mistake to avoid is that you should always plan your money before you begin to spend. The second money mistake to avoid is a lot of men, they tend to buy liabilities rather than assets. Liabilities are things that take money away from you. Oh, thank you, TMD. Welcome. Hi, welcome. Buying liabilities instead of assets. What do I mean by liabilities and what do I mean by assets? Liabilities are things that you spend money on that take money away from you, while assets are things that you spend money on but they tend to bring money back to you. So if, for instance, or when you get your money, what you do is to buy clothes, is to look well, is to buy cars or do something that doesn't generate or bring money to you, that is a liability, while the one that brings in money is an asset. What do you think about more bank accounts, like one for savings, one for rent, one for food, and one for trips? That would be too much to have so many bank accounts. Why? Because don't forget that bank accounts carry with them a lot of how do I call them? You have the COT, a lot of charges. So the more bank accounts that you have, the more charges you would have. And then these are monies that are being taken away from you. So what you could do is all this, the rent, the food, and the trips. What you could do, you could have one account for those things, and then you just have your budget. You have your budget and then you set limits so that once you exceed that limit, you know that that is all spending for that time. I will not encourage that you have different accounts because you have to also think about your investment. You can put together certain things, food and some other things, expenses. You can just classify the expenses and then you group similar expense together and have an account for those ones, so that you will not be paying so much charges on this account. So this is my view on you having several accounts for so many expenses. You can categorize them and then put similar expenses together in an account. Your rent, I don't know how often you pay your rent, but if it's for us here, it's usually yearly, or maybe most times it is yearly. So you could have an account and say, okay, if it's yearly, this account will be for my rent. And then I will advise that you put it not just in a savings account, you put it in an account that could also generate income, interest for you, maybe in a fixed deposit, and you leave the deposit for fixed deposit for 1 year or for the time that you're going to need that rent. So it doesn't just sit in an account and then you are paying charges. So that is my take on it. Harris, like font, like you don't understand, like fonts. Please let me understand what you mean by that, Harris. So that's the second thing. Instead of buying liabilities, buy assets. Begin to buy more of assets. Don't just buy phones. Some men that I know, immediately a new phone comes out, you see them upgrading, buying the latest phone and doing all sort of things. So I want to encourage you that it is a money mistake, buying things that are liabilities, taking money away from you rather than bringing in money to you. When you have liabilities look good. They look good, but they are draining your money. So the second money mistakes that men should avoid is buy more of assets rather than liabilities. You put in your money for a long term of like 20. Oh, bonds. Okay, yes, bonds, 25 years, and it has like, that is bonds. I understand. Some of them are government bonds and all that. Is a fantastic one, especially where you do not need the money immediately. That is actually different from the savings account, because savings account really has the interest is very low, and the interest tends to be eroded by inflation. So please, I want us to understand the difference. Oh, didn't know the English word for it. Sorry. No problem. No problem. Everybody needs money immediately. Fantastic. Olu, welcome back. Thank you for joining me this evening. We're looking at 7 money mistakes that men make and how to avoid these mistakes. So I want to encourage our men that please understand the difference between liabilities and assets. So when you get your salary, rather than you buying things that are liabilities, please allocate some for assets. You have to look towards the future to know that I have to begin to buy things that will generate income for me. And these assets are in different classes. You have some, only number one, cheating. Only one mistake, cheating. that is not I don't know if I'll classify that as money mistake. But for us here, the first money mistake that we have is when you spend money as soon as you get that money without budgeting it, you just spend. And I said that actually gives a sense of false abundance, because once you see the money, you feel that you have a lot of money. By the time you start spending, the money start dwindling, and we don't want to encourage that. Not everyone. Yes, I agree. Not everyone. I'm sure Oli is just joking. Not everyone. So please, while you are buying assets and avoiding liabilities, one of the things or the steps you should take is to delay gratification. Because one thing gratification does is that it also keeps you, when you delay it, it puts you on check. Some of these things that are liabilities are not things that are necessary for us. They are just things that we want, things that we like. Rather, than when it comes to this, we must be able to differentiate between our wants and our likes. So build assets and start thinking about assets. And I have a quote here which I want to say right now. I said, if all you are collecting are shining things which are liabilities, that then your money is not working for you. What your money is doing is that your money is working away from you. That is what liability does. Liabilities, just takes money away from you rather than bringing money to you. So the third money mistakes that men should avoid is upgrading your lifestyle before you upgrade your income. Welcome. You are from there. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your name, but welcome all the same. So the third money mistakes that men should avoid is upgrading your lifestyle before you upgrade your income. So once you get, what do I mean by upgrading your lifestyle? This is a money trap that a lot of people fall into, and this is, once you get an increase in salary, for instance, maybe you were earning 100,000 naira or $5,000, and then suddenly you are given an increment. It becomes 120,000 naira or 10,000, maybe 10,000 or $10,000, and then you decide that, okay, oh, my money has increased. You decide maybe you want to move from the apartment in which you are currently living, or you want to change your car. Maybe you were using a 2020 model before. You decide that now you want to, upgrade it to 2022, or you want to upgrade it to 2025. That is a money mistake that you are, committing. And it is important that rather than upgrading things, and like I said, these are liabilities, it is important that you upgrade your income. When that money comes, try and do something with the difference. So if you have a difference, no matter how small that difference is, it's important that you channel that difference into a savings and eventually into an investment. So avoid upgrading your lifestyle before you upgrade your income. When that money comes, when that difference arrives, please ensure that you upgrade it. Upgrade it by savings, upgrade it by channeling it into something else, into assets, getting in assets. So the fourth money mistake that we're looking at this evening is believing that money equals manhood. What do I mean by this? This is actually one of the most dangerous, and misunderstood money mindset amongst men. Men feel, and I want to hear from you, the men that are watching, is it a true statement? Is it a fair statement to say that for a lot of men, the belief that money equates manhood? And that is why you hear statement that, oh, a real man must always provide. Or if I am broke, then it means that I am not man enough. These are the kind of statements that we hear. And it is a money mistake, that believing that your money equates to your manhood. It is not. You are separate. Your net worth, which is your money, your assets, what you have, is separate from who you are. You are not the same. You are a responsible man. You are a valuable man. You are a man that is going somewhere. You are on a journey. And that present situation, financial situation, is only temporary. If you know what to do, if you do the right thing, you as a man, you get to that destination financially that you hope to get to. So please, as men, separate yourself, separate your net worth from your, from your self-worth. You and your, you are not the same. So please take that mindset away and believe that you will handle great things financially, that you will get to that financial destination that you want to get to. So number 5 money mistake that men make is not having a retirement plan. This is something that I'm going to appeal to you that you must always look into. Many men work hard. Many men work hard to provide for their families, to provide for even themselves. But many of them fail to think about the future. So I want to ask you, as you're watching this evening, how close are you to retirement? When are you going to retire? Are you working are you in employment, paid employment? If you are in paid employment, how old are you now? And how many years do you still have in employment before you either resign or you retire or you are asked to leave because you have reached the age of retirement? So I want to say, if you don't have a retirement plan, let it be part of your financial goal. Let it be part of your money goal. And you start thinking, even before the end of the week, today's Thursday, you have another day. Start thinking, what is my plan? Do I have something in place? If you don't have something in place, then you start thinking, how will my future be? How will I continue to provide myself when that income, stops coming in? What are the pension plans that you have in place? If you are in the US, is it your Roth? Is it your 401k? What is it? If you're in Nigeria, what do you have? Do you have the contributory plan? If you don't have, if you're working for yourself, what do you have for yourself? What is your plan for after post retirement? What are you going to do? I've heard people say, and men inclusive, say things like, oh, my kids are my retirement plan. I've heard people say that, oh, I hope that all will be well. I am not saying that all will not be well, but let me say here that financially speaking, hope is not a strategy for your future, for your retirement. And let me say this, that except someone dies, aging is not optional. Aging is something that we will all go through. So when that time comes, how are you going to provide? How will you continue to pay for your rent if you do not yet have your own accommodation? So please, not planning for retirement is a money mistake that men make, and I'm appealing to you right now that start thinking about the future. Start, having something in place. Decide that, okay, how will it go? How will it end? I must say that retirement is not an emergency. And that is why I am saying this evening that what plan do you have for yourself? What structure have you put in place for yourself towards this retirement? Understand the pension plan that you have and work towards it. So let me hear from you. Do you have a plan towards your retirement? What are you doing? And if you don't have a plan, what do you intend or what do you plan to do? So number 6 money mistakes that I see men do is not having a form of savings or any form of investment. Savings and investments are non-negotiable. If you want to achieve financial independence, if you want to create a bright future for yourself financially, then it is mandatory. It is not optional. You must have a savings and gradually move to investment. Anyone without savings is not safe. Saving is just the foundation. Savings is a short-term thing. Saving is something that you would use in case of emergency. Savings is the foundation whereby you begin to build wealth and create your investment, create your assets. Because for many people who are working right now, including of our men and especially of our men, you may not have enough funds. You may not have enough money for you to start your investment journey. So the first thing that you should do is that you must start saving. You must save, like my friend said here, I think it's Harris that said it, that you must have savings for different things. Yes, you must have savings. That is the foundation if you want to create wealth. Like I said, not everyone can begin to start investing. You have different forms of investment. You have investment in the stock market. You have investment in the bonds, like my brother talked about in PR Media, watching from Canada. Thank you so much. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to say, please subscribe if you have not yet subscribed, like, and I want to also hear from you. What money mistakes are you making? How are you avoiding them? Or if you have just, to encourage the men here, please do. So too many men are working hard, but they are not actually thinking of savings and investment. What will you fall back on? Let me say that no savings plus no investment equals to no peace of mind. I will say it again. If you do not have savings, if you do not have investment, that is equal to not having peace of mind. Yes. So why, let me say that what happens when you have savings is that your savings protect you. It protects you for emergencies. When emergency comes, what comes up is the savings. That is what protects you. That is your or your umbrella in the event that something unforeseen happens. So having a savings is mandatory. It's something that you must have, but not putting your money in a savings for too long. We're going to look at that another time. And that's the difference between a savings and investment. Your savings protect you for the immediate, while the investment, what it does is that it helps you to grow your money. That is what investment is all about. And it is important, it is mandatory if you're going to grow your wealth, that you must have savings and you must also have investment. So I want to encourage you this evening that please make a commitment to save and to invest for your future. Today may look like everything is going well, everything is rosy, but what about tomorrow? What are you planning for your tomorrow? So the final money mistakes that I see men make is not putting your finances and your life in order. Yes, a lot of men work. In fact, many men work. They work, they hustle. If I want to use the word, they try to make ends meet, not just for themselves and also for their families as well. But the thing is that deep down, can you say that your finances, is in order? Can you say that your life is in order? It is important that you ensure that your finances are in order. And what do I mean? Your savings, your investment, your insurance, all the things that you have, are they documented? Are they documented? And does your document, do they actually reflect your current situation? Let me give an example of that. Maybe you had an insurance as a single man. Now you are married, and the person who you put as your next of kin and your beneficiary, maybe it was your uncle, was a sibling or something. Now your situation has changed. Now you are a married man. You cannot continue to leave your uncle as your next of kin or even as your beneficiary. Now you are married. It means that the information on your documents need to change. And that is what I'm talking about. You putting your finances and your life in order. So let me say this. As a man, you must have a plan for your finances. As a man, you must be deliberate when it comes to your finances. As a man, you must have strategy for your finances. You must review your documentations regularly. You must be deliberate about the things that you do as relating to your finances. So I am so passionate this evening to encourage our men, to speak to our men, that as it comes to your finances, because we see a lot of tapes, we see a lot of videos, we see a lot of podcasts telling women to own their income, to take charge of their finances. But we don't have as many videos for men asking them to put their finances in order. And I'm making this call this evening, I'm making this appeal this evening, that as our men, please ensure that your finances are in order. Ensure that as you work, you are not just working for today, you are also planning for tomorrow. You are ensuring that you have a goal for your finances. You ensure that you have a plan for your finances. You ensure that you have a budget for your finances. You ensure that your retirement plan is in place. You ensure that you are working. You're not just working, but you're not just earning the income. You're not just making that income, but you're able to manage. You are able to multiply. And you are also able to protect the things that you have worked for. And I know that if anything is going to change, if anything is going to be, then as a man, it is up to you. Don't forget, you are the one that your family looks up to. There are so many more other money mistakes that men make, but these are the 7 that I'm here to talk about this evening. There are many, many more. You have the family commitment, the extended family commitment as well, without setting boundaries. And for our younger men as well, not actually getting your worth in your place of work. You're not being able to negotiate with your employers. Another money mistake is when you as a man, all you are just relying on is just that one source of income. I tell people all the time that having just one source of income is close to not having any source of income at all. And for that income source, you also have to ask yourself, in the next 1 year, in the next 3 years, in the next 5 years, will I still have this job? Will this job still be needed? Will what I'm doing, what I'm providing, will it still be needed? Or is it something that in the next 1 year, in the next 2 years will be replaced by AI? The other day I went to the bank and I was speaking to one of the tellers who was attending to me. And I noticed that you had less people in the banking hall. And I made this observation to her. And what she said to me was, it caught my, it caught me, and I would say that it cost me a little bit of pain. Why? She said to me that now that sometimes they just sit at the counter without customers coming in. Why? Because now we're going cashless. Because now you can do online transfers. You have the POS available. And when she made that comment, I said to her, I said, are you thinking of something else? Are you thinking of the future? Because now that, you have all these alternatives, the bank will think and say that, look, why do we have folk teller people? Why do we have them sitting when they are not even, being maximized? And then, you now realize that you are being laid off. But the signs were there that your work, what you were doing, and your services were needed about 5 years ago, 2 years, even as recent as last year. You'll notice that before the end of this year, you may be asked to be, to go. And so you must ask yourself, having this one source of income, is it reliable? Is this something that I should hold on to? So I want to encourage you, please, if you have only one source of income, as a man and you're on this platform, you are watching me, you are on this community, or you'll be watching me later, please start thinking, what can I do differently? What other sources of income can I include to what I currently do? It's not for you to start looking for other jobs. There are other things that you can do online. And that is why we talked about you acquiring assets and not liabilities. What are the assets that you can, begin to invest in? What are the simple things that you can begin to invest in? My brother Harry says something about bonds. Yes, government bonds. You can put your money into it. The interest rate is slightly high. And if you don't have so much, you can start with mutual funds, and we'll be looking at that as the days go on. Because right now I'm doing a 30-day, teaching coming on live so that you could ask me questions as relating to money and also legal matters as well. Sometimes it might not have to be directly related to what we are talking about. Today we're talking about money mistakes men should avoid. If you have a money question that is bothering you, you can, DM me or send a message to me. I will gladly walk you through. So please, for the men that are here, you must get to that place, to that wealth that you want to create, to that financial independence you want to have. Please remember to avoid spending as quickly as when that money comes in. Take some time to plan. Have a plan, have a goal, financial goal. Before the end of this year, this is what you want to achieve. By 2026, this is what you want to do. Have goals, have plans. Have a budget, create a budget, a real, a workable budget that will work for you. A budget is simply a spending plan. It's not something that will affect you negatively. It's something that will help you in terms of your income. Know where you are financially. Know where you want to go financially. Have assets. In fact, as a man, you should have an insurance. I'm going to talk about insurance as well another time. Especially for our African men who don't believe in insurance. Insurance is just a pool of protection in the event that something happens. For most people, what we think about is that, oh, God forbid it will not happen. But what if it happens? What if there's a fire breakout? So we need to start thinking about our money as men. Ask yourself, where are you? You are working so hard for your family, for your wife, for your children. What do you have in place for them? So we need to start thinking about that. You need to start thinking about delaying gratification. You need to start, thinking about, asset. That is the thing that should be in your mind. Income. And another thing is your cash flow. When cash comes into your hand, how does it flow? Does it flow towards liabilities? Those are the things that take money away from you, or it flows towards asset creation. So I want to say a very big thank you to you, and I will leave this that do you have, even for an emergency, in the event that something happens, is it something that will just wipe away your finances? Don't forget that hope is not a strategy. Don't forget, as the man that you are, you must be deliberate. You must be intentional about your finances. You must have a structure. You must have a plan. And like I said, I will, I do one-on-one. So if you want me to walk you through, I will be glad to walk you through. So if this spoke to you, if today's video spoke to you, please don't keep it to yourself. Share it with other men that you believe will need this. And if you're going to be watching, the replay will be available on this channel, this YouTube channel. You can watch a replay of it. And please, once again, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe and turn on the notification button. And don't forget that we're here to help you to plan. We're here to help you to get to that financial future. So once again, I want to say a very big thank you for watching, for joining me. We'll meet again tomorrow by 9 p.m. West African time to continue to talk about, money matters. And please, if there's anything you want me to talk about specifically, please drop it in the chat. Or if you're watching after, drop in the comment section. So once again, thank you so much for joining me. Be money wise. I'll see you at the top, and God bless you. Bye, Olu. Bye, Harris. Bye, PR Media. Bye, Vasia. Bye, everyone. Thank you. See you tomorrow, 9 p.m. And have a night rest, a peaceful night rest.